If I was a new tattoo artist in 2025, this would be my game plan. First of all, we need a good, reliable mentor. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to make any unnecessary mistakes. I think it's important to pick a mentor that can do the style that we want to do. It's very important to have someone who's experienced so they can teach us thoroughly. And that brings me on to point number 2, which is drawing. Hopefully you've been doing a lot of it and you will continue to experiment with different styles, different techniques. I'm not expecting you to have found your way, but we have to find our way by experimenting and doing a lot of work to create the style that we want. If you're having a hard time finding a reliable mentor, then step number 2 will help you build a portfolio to go and potentially find a good apprenticeship and mentor. So use your drawings to also build a portfolio. That's good for finding a mentor, and it's also good for finding clients. Which takes me to step number 3. Take your social media seriously, build yourself a website if you can, and start advertising on your Facebooks and your Instagram. I've seen a lot of well-respected and talented artists struggle through the social media era purely because they didn't know how to adapt to more modern times. Newer, younger artists are popping up and they're doing the content, they're figuring out the social media. So naturally, things change. Make sure that you don't get outdated and make sure that you move with the times. Step number 4, you want to make sure that you're tattooing as much as possible. As well as having our experience drawing, as well as finding a good mentor, it's just as important to keep tattooing and keep utilizing the new information that you've got. Monitor your progress, make sure you're taking pictures and videos, compare your healed tattoos to the fresh tattoos. What can we do to progress? Are we utilizing the new knowledge that we've learned? And lastly, step number 5. For me, in my early stages, I would take any tattoo that would come through the door. Even if it wasn't something that I really wanted to do, for me, I was happier tattooing than doing another job that I didn't want to do. So in the early stages, I would do whatever tattoo would walk through the door. And a lot of the time that helped get me the client, and that client would later come back to get something that I wanted to do, or they would at least refer me to another client, and that helped me get work later on down the line. Remember that it's easier to get a client to return than it is to find a new client. A lot of the relationship that you build with a past client is one of the biggest hurdles to overcome when finding and bonding with new clients. So if you feel like you're working hard and you're having a really tough time finding a reliable teacher, I made thebuzzacademy.com because when I got my apprenticeship, my mentor didn't have the information to pass. I spent 13 years traveling and learning and perfecting my craft. And now it's my time to pass it on to you guys. So if you're ready to dive deep into tattooing with me, visit thebuzzacademy.com.
The Buzz.